We start our sharing before your sharing.
Yeah.
So let's introduce yourself.
Hi, I'm Pastor Grace. I'm a nutritionist, a former editor of a health magazine in Malaysia here.
So Grace, can you share about a little bit your working experience before this? I mean, as I know now you are a full-time pastor. So before this, what's your working experience? Can you share with us?
I'm a nutritionist by profession. So I work as a nutritionist in several companies before, in food care, organic restaurants, organic trading as well. And the last one, I was involved in publication line. So I was working as an editor of a health magazine.
So you need to write a lot of articles about...
Yeah, I have to do a lot of research, and because my magazine was not just normal health and also beauty kind of magazine, mine is more like a medical health paper. So we have to base our report on like clinical findings and also journals.
Yeah,
so during that time,
a lot of time,
yes. And also during my time when I was working there, praise God, my magazine was acknowledged by the Ministry of Health. So we won a few awards during my term as the editor there.
I see.
Yeah.
So actually today we want to interview you about why you fall in love with our Aulora pants. So can you share with us how you know about this Aulora pants?
I had this lower back pain, which has been persistent for a few years. All in all, it's about 3 years. Then I started to see my friend who used to study with me in the university.
Who is she?
She's Joyce.
Okay.
Yeah, she's my classmate when we were in university last time. So during my time, we know each other very well.
Okay.
But I started to see her posting something about pants on her Facebook. And I started to see her interviewing people about pants and how the pants help improving the blood circulation and all.
So what's your feeling when you see only a simple pants and then can help the blood circulation?
I was very skeptical, highly skeptical. So I followed her, I stalked her quietly. So I didn't contact her at all. So I just observed what she was posting, and then I was waiting for my friends to ask her questions, but nobody asked her questions. So I was just quietly observing her from behind the scene.
Okay.
Then later, because of my lower back pain has been with me for 3 years, so then last December during Christmas time, I decided that maybe I should just give it a try to like contact her and see how much are these pants.
Okay.
Because she never told anything about the pricing on her Facebook at all.
Okay.
So I was wondering, why is it she's so secretive? She's like not telling at all how much are the pants.
Okay.
Yeah. So I contacted her, and then we met up. You know, the last time we met was like maybe about 4 or 5 years ago. So we met up. Then when we met up, then we talked about how these pants help. So then I was convinced. So then I started to I opened an account under her after that. Yeah.
Okay. What really convinced you to invest these pants?
Well, because of the technology that she shared with me. She told me that her own experience, first was her own experience, and then she showed me of her evidence as well, so photos of before and after. And then after that, she shared with me also some other testimonies. Then the next thing was that when I started to realize the technology behind it, I was very much convinced, because when she told me that the far infrared was actually part of the ceramides, and these were actually weaved into the pants, into the fabric, then that one was something that I'm very keen on. So then I started to ask her, so do you mean to say that I can wash the pants every time?
Okay.
So she said, yeah, you can wash every time like normal clothing and so on, because prior to that I got another pair of pants, but this one I cannot wash, because once you wash, then the infrared is gone. So then I started to get these pants, and then after that I just tried, and after wearing for 1 day, I had perspiration on my lower back. So at the spot that I had the pain all the time. So then I started to feel very strange. Then the next day I started to have bloatiness. So I had a lot of gas. So for 2 days I was full of gas. Yeah, then on the following day, I started to feel very light on my legs. I started to feel my kneecaps are, very light. I could climb up the staircase very easily.
Before this?
Before this, I was okay, but it's just that now I can move very fast.
Okay.
I could actually, without even fearing that I would hurt myself, I could just go up very fast. So I was very happy with that. Yeah.
Anything else you want to share? I mean,
Then the next thing was that when I slept on the bed, I realized that I could feel, I don't have to pull up the blankets all the way. So I feel warm, and I feel like the temperature is just right. I do not feel like too hot, I do not feel like too cold. So the whole night I was pretty much okay. I didn't have to pull the blanket from my husband. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so it was very good. It was very good. Then later I started to
share
with my mom, because my mom had a pain on the neck, the shoulder area here. So then I started to share with her, and then she started to experience some. Actually, the first day when she wore it, she wore for very long hours, and she felt very good. Then after that, she started to. But right now she's still recovering from the pain. She hasn't really fully recovered yet. So then. Yeah, my mom is still wearing the pants, but sometimes when she has pain, she will put the pants on her shoulder area. Yeah.
So she can see the effect also, right?
Yeah, the first day when she wore it, she saw the effect. That's why she believed that it works. And then also the other thing is that the pants move her blood circulation. So the part that has the pain was the shoulder area there. So when she had that pain, it was really, really bad. Yeah.
Okay, as I know you are a nutritionist, right? And then I'm sure you convinced because of the technology far infrared. So can you share with us a little bit about far infrared to our human world?
Well, basically, far infrared is used during pain therapy. Like for example, if let's say a person has involved in sports activities, and then the person has pain in the kneecap or pain in the legs. Usually when you go to see a doctor, you will apply pain analgesics. So it's the cream that will produce heat. Yeah, so that is basically to give you the pain therapy using heat. But then the latest technology is that they also use far infrared, whereby they use light. So there are companies that sell light that you can actually shine on your lower back or your back, or you can actually shine onto your leg area or the muscles area.
How much it cost?
Not that cheap. You're talking about a few hundreds sometimes, yeah. So it really depends on the brand that you're getting. So this kind of technology is available in the market. So sometimes doctors will even ask patients, right, who have persistent back pain or persistent neck pain because of poor posture at work. They will even ask them to consider getting some light like this, the infrared like this, so you can actually put it on a desk or you can put on your bed, then you can actually apply on it. Yeah, so that is to relieve the pain. Yeah.
So with this pants, it's more easier.
Oh yeah, I really like this pants because when I wore this pants, I was expecting it to be really warm, but it's not. I was actually shocked because I feel very cooling. So when I wore it in the afternoon,
install an aircon there, right?
Yeah. Yeah. So it's when I wore it the first time in Singapore, I was wearing underneath my jeans, and I was taking the public transport, and I was the whole day I was out, and I didn't feel clammy. I didn't feel very sticky at all. So I was naturally very pleased with that. Then that was when I started to tell my husband that this thing can really, really good. I can wear continuously for a few days, so it's still okay. Yeah.
So now I think how long already? About 2-3 months.
I think 3 months now.
3 months.
3 months now. Yeah, 3 months.
So any advice you want to give to others who still considering these Aulora pants?
I would say that you have to try it to know whether it works for you or not. So you can actually see all the testimonies available, and also the clinical papers available as well. But the main thing is that you have to try yourself first. Because once you try it, then you only know whether is it really as cooling as we say, and is it really as beneficial as we claim it to be. Because you are talking about, you are using your calf muscles to pump the blood back to your heart, right? So when you wear this pair of pants, you are basically using it to assist your blood circulation.
Yes.
So don't just hear what we say, you have to try it for yourself.
After you try, then you will like fall in love with this Aulora pants.
Yes.
Okay, here we end our interview. So thank you, Grace.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Thank you, Chloe.
Bye bye.